Okay, well, I'm going to start recording now. But anyway, it's 20 after 6. We have been talking already here for the Facilities Committee. But anyway, sorry, April 7th Facilities Committee meeting. I do know that there's been some discussion in the public on this. I guess it was when it was the update was given at the Committee of the Whole meeting. It was some kind of financial study or something. And I know that there's scuttlebutt of, oh, well, we're going to spend money to do this study. So, and I've tried to, the people I've talked to, I've tried to explain what it is and say, look, I'm for it. I mean, part of it has to do with the whole shutting down Birdsboro thing and
right.
that dilemma. But I've tried to explain that.
Susan, how are you?
It is spending money, but that it's money well spent because it helps us plan for the future, so we don't get into the same dilemma. So
I agree.
Not the same dilemma, future dilemmas, you know what I mean?
Well, right.
You know.
But we don't want to put a future board in the same spot we are in now.
No,
so,
definitely not.
So, Suzanne, we were just talking about the reserve study. Take your time. I'm not rushing you.
Oh, yeah, how's that going?
Well, we talked to Michelle, who was the person who had given us the proposal last month. We talked to her on the phone for about 10 minutes. She kind of gave an overview of the process.
What they're going to do.
I told Larry I had reached out to 2 or 3 other companies. I did get one that I thought was supposed to submit a proposal. I tried to call her today, and I haven't. She was out of the office, but I don't have anything. So what we had decided was Larry was going to contact some references of this company this week. That just goes with the phone. Sorry. And if that I had said I'm comfortable making a recommendation to the board myself, at least, that we should move forward with this. I think I don't think you're going to find. I think the price is fair. I think
do
we
too,
need to do it.
What they're going to do.
They said they'd have 3 engineers out here for a week.
3 engineers working with me to go and the building.
I can't. I'm amazed that they can do it for the price.
I kind of thought the same thing.
I think they have tons of experience doing it, and they know what to look at.
And they just can whack it out because they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It seems like it,
yeah, I really was surprised when we heard the price, especially when they gave the list of what they were going to do. I deal with inspections all the time with home inspections and stuff, and this is a whole school district. It's not one building.
Right.
Over 850,000 square feet.
Yeah, it's not a small task. And you've got parking lots and sidewalks and the whole 9 yards. I thought that was a fair price.
Yep.
It's a shame we have to do it, but if we don't do it, we're not going to know where the money's going to.
Well, I think. I don't know that it, honestly, I don't know that it's really, it's a shame that we have to spend the money at this point in time, but,
Right.
I think most facilities do this I know, just from my experience with wastewater treatment plants, we do this every so many years because you got to plan for your replacements. And,
exactly.
And so I think it's kind of a cost of, quote, doing business, if you want to call it that, but.
Yeah.
Unfortunately it is, but you need it.
And she did say that then when they do future follow-up ones, she said it's usually about 70% of the cost because
I think
they have most of the data.
That's fair, right? You just go back and do the checklist.
Yeah. Right. So
that's I think that this has nothing to do with, well, it does have everything to do with this, but when they build the buildings, if they built into the cost of the building what it's going to cost to repair the roof, how long the roof's going to last, and this is what it's going to cost 30 years down the road, or this or that.
It would be easier if they did it at that point.
They wouldn't spend as much on the building.
Well, that too. You're right, that too.
That's what I mean.
That too.
Preventive maintenance in school districts is never there.
No. No. And it's not just schools. It's a lot of public facilities, roads, all that kind of stuff. You don't want to raise taxes to maintain it.
People don't realize you buy or build something. It's not forever.
Exactly. So.
Like to think it is.
Yeah, right.
It's just like your house. By the time you get done maintaining everything, you start over. So. So that's where we were with that. We were just going to go in to talk about the boilers. So
Oh, goody.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, I have a...
That's my favorite subject.
Yeah, I have an estimate right there from Snyder Hoffman that I gave you. It's for their engineering, what they would do if we go out for public bid. You can see all the steps there and what the cost is on the first page. So that's basically our mechanical engineer. Brian Subers basically sent me an email, and all his legal documents would be $1,500.
If all went smoothly,
Right.
I saw that.
Yeah.
little
If all went
caveat.
smoothly, okay. Now, okay, I've been on a lot of building projects, and when you go out for bid, it doesn't always go smoothly. So, and I'll hand you this little.
Okay, you want me to be your
Yeah,
man away from it?
yeah, I got it.
Oh, we should pass them down.
Yeah. I think I got a couple stapled on this one.
So this
let me
would
see
be
here.
if we did not go out on CoStar, right?
Well,
Well,
let me
yeah.
let me clarify some things about CoStar.
I'll shut up.
Let me clarify some things about CoStars
We're
right
learning.
now. Okay, CoStars back a year and a half ago, basically anything over $25,000, you cannot go with CoStars because it gets into prevailing wage. Meaning it's up. If you want to go with CoStars, it's up to $25,000.
Okay.
Anything over
If it's a
$25,000,
project.
you have to go out for bid, or you can go with the TCPN.
I can just pass them down if you want.
Now I'm going to give you a couple of handouts here on the TCPN, and that's what I got a price.
Oh, okay.
And
That's
what's
what I-
TCPN?
Okay, I'm going to give this to you right now. It's a purchasing network.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
And that's what the price I got from Train. Okay, and here's a couple more little facts of the TCPN.
What does that stand for? TCPN.
If you go to it's the Cooperative Purchasing Network. Cooperative Purchasing Network. Purchasing Network.
There you go.
Okay.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, really. Okay, so if you read the email that I got off of Andrew Odell right here,
Yeah.
so basically it just states all the facts there of what the TCPN is, and basically the schools that they've done business with so far in the last 12 months. So we're within all the government regulations and everything like that, with going out with the TCPN bid.
Okay.
So if you read everything, you read the back page, reduces administrative and productive costs, and,
Okay.
So there
we can
you
go
have
this
the whole
route.
package. Huh?
We can go this route. It's not CoStars, but if we go this route, we don't have to bid
You don't have to.
because it's been bid by the state.
It's been
Okay.
bid by the state.
TCPN,
the,
right?
Yes, through the purchasing network. So then we don't have unions coming down on us and everything else.
Okay, are they bidding our specific project for us with this?
Yes, they do an RFP. If you read this back page right here, this will tell you right here
Oh, that's
on how
I thought that was
they
fine.
do this.
Okay.
Okay, so if you read that there, that's
Oh, okay,
that's
okay.
how they come up with doing their RFP, sending an RFP out.
But then how can they give us a price already? Or is it because they? Okay. But this is the price,
That is the
regardless.
price.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so this
Oh, the
is not
state did
Train's
it. The
price.
state did the contract. Okay, it's not our
That's why
specific
it's the same.
contract. The state did the contract.
That's why it's the same. I just saw
Okay.
that. I'm like, wait a minute. How much of a coincidence can that be?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And I did have.
It's kind of like CoStars. It's just the next level.
Yeah, it's the next
level.
It's the next level up. So basically, on this page here, the quote that I gave you is basically everything that I would like to see in that building, with the 4 isolation valves, control the 3 chillers, control the 2 chillers, and basically everything as far as front end. I mean, our BCU and basically the front end of the EMS system.
Now, if we went out to bid, Train could still bid on it, or no?
Train will bid on it because it's train controls going in, because we had train controls at our other schools, and I don't feel like going to a different control system because we can swap parts out for,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Makes a lot of sense.
it'd be ridiculous to go with
Right.
some other control company. And basically at all our other buildings, we had train controls.
Berkshire the only one that doesn't have.
Birdsburg's the only one that don't have.
But ironically, let me ask this. Train could then somewhat control the bid because the other people have to buy the controls from Train.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah. So there is that.
Kind of like,
Well, can I just ask you something about Train? Are they really real good? I mean, are they like top of the line? And I've heard they were. And they're how much more expensive are they because they're top of the line? I mean, are they a lot more expensive? This is just a off the cuff kind of thing.
I mean, I deal with Train a lot. I work with Train hand in hand a lot. Like today, I work with Aaron, starting the chillers up and everything like that. They probably are a little bit more expensive, but you get what you pay for.
Okay, I just wondered because I've heard
They're
before
very
that they were, you know,
They're very knowledgeable.
top of the line and very expensive. Because sometimes top of the line and very expensive doesn't mean they're,
The Train is worldwide.
yeah.
I think too, and I think just to throw this out there, because I had talked a little bit about with Ken about, like I said, at the last voting meeting when we talked about the boilers and we were getting ready to move forward. I think it was Mr. Martino mentioned that some people in the district had said, well, we could, you know.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to talk to Ken about it because it's kind of like, you know, if we have boiler A and they're looking at, and they have boiler B and C, but we really need A or 1A, it doesn't matter what B or
No.
C is, you know.
No.
So,
I did talk to the 2 people. As a matter of fact, I had one of the guys there today, and basically he had his parent company actually bidding on part of this from Train. So they were there today.
Did you get any You didn't get numbers back, right?
No, not from them. They'll go right to Train and give them the numbers. I don't want the numbers from them because it's all through Train.
Okay, well, it sort of sounded like at the public meeting, it sounded like I can do better, and then, I mean, this is just like my little gameplay here. They go over and look at it and say, "Oh, I didn't know this was what it was." You know, it's like,
Yeah, their jaws drop.
I mean, people can always say,
right.
"I can do better," but
Well, and you may be able
It's
to
not
do
like
better,
your
but
house
in
where you have your
reality-
house on a slab and you can go in with a hand truck and pick your boiler out. And
But in
wheel it out
reality,
with a
they
hand
don't really know what we're dealing with.
truck. No, you've been there. It's down
Yeah.
to a 20-foot pit.
Yeah, it's
You
not,
need
I
an
mean,
80-foot crane to get in there to pick it out and put the other ones in.
well,
Even
even,
top of the chillers.
how's the rental one work though? Then is that outside? Or is it, okay, so that's just set up outside.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll give you a little story about the rental one once we turn that tape off.
Okay.
Just the kids out there.
Yeah, I was just going to chime in with that.
Okay.
So the 2 local residents, they really don't have the expertise to do this.
The one local resident, he works for Columbia Boiler. I'm looking at condensing boilers. He doesn't handle condensing boilers. Condensing boiler, you'll be able to modulate the loop temperature. It'll take the cold water shock of that system, and basically we'll be able to modulate like the loop temperature and save a lot of money on natural gas by modulating according to outside air temperature and humidity.
well, there it is again. The guy said I can save you money, but
And I think you did say that the payback was with the
Well,
efficiency
if you go with like a condensing boiler, where they're probably like 98% efficient, and like I said, you can modulate this boiler because we do have one over at the primary building.
98% efficient?
98%. Okay.
That's
You can modulate.
efficient.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
modulate these things, and basically on outside air temperature and humidity. And that modulation, take that boiler down to like 10%, and it'll keep your loo temperature at that temperature you want it, based on the outside air temperature. Saves you a lot of energy.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So the payback with a boiler like that, which will take that system out there, is between 5 to 10 years of price difference between a
Well,
regular
this-
ordinary sectional boiler, not a tube boiler, and that
And so what we're talking about here is a condensing.
condensing boiler. Yep.
Okay, now this says budget price. That's not a bid price, that's a budget price.
That's a budget price right now. I confirm that up, but that's going to be pretty close because that's the numbers right from state TCPM.
Are we going to have to vote on this price?
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, since it's a budget price, it's not a fixed price.
well,
So you just make it not to go over $390,000,
Okay,
and
it won't.
okay.
because I think
I've
if
done
they're
plenty of business with Train a lot of times.
Well, I'm just asking, because when we have to vote on this,
Right.
I just want to know if the number's right, that's all.
Number's
Because we
right.
don't have to run it around again.
Numbers right.
But I think anytime, I know like with us when we do contracts, there's usually a plus or minus,
Yeah.
of a certain percentage, which is standard. And I would think this is probably a pretty good number, but if it's $500 or $800 off, I would hope that nobody on the board would have things happen in the field,
Yeah, well, this is why I just wondered how.
It will not be over this price, guarantee you.
Okay,
Based on your experience.
I never had a project where we went over on anything as far as change orders or anything like that.
So what would the protocol be? We would
Well-
vote on a number not to exceed X.
Not to exceed.
All right.
Not to exceed.
So you would be comfortable with not to exceed 390.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, then, I would like to say, can we get a recommendation out of the facilities committee for Monday's meeting to
I recommend.
replace the boilers
Yeah.
with Train
Yeah.
under the TCPN?
Yeah.
Yep,
I'm in favor of that.
Okay.
I don't think we need to spend another $12,000 to bid it.
What's that temporary gizmo costing us a day over there? What's that temporary gizmo costing us a day over there?
5,500.
$5,500 a day?
No, not a day.
A month.
A month.
Okay. And basically,
Another heart palpitation.
I'm looking at the long range. We're looking at 70s by the weekend, and basically, yeah.
Get rid of it.
Well,
Do we need it for the air conditioner?
no, it's a two-pipe system.
The trouble
There's
is
no
the
mixing.
darn
in it.
weather is going,
Okay.
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
Okay.
Either you have heat or you have air conditioning in this building.
Okay. So we don't need the boilers for the air. Okay. Because I just didn't want to have climate issues. Okay.
Wow.
He just needs to get started with the.
Well,
You always have some climate issues with certain staff members.
no, I meant, I don't care. Listen, I don't necessarily.
Really?
I don't take this the wrong way. I don't want to say I don't care about. My concern is environmental concerns, not personal comfort.
Start with M?
Yes.
Yeah, when I disconnect them boilers, everything will be fine at that building and we'll be in air conditioning mode.
Okay.
yeah, because the air conditioning takes the humidity out.
Right.
We fired the chillers up and the cooling towers in our buildings Friday and today, and we were drawing air conditioning in a lot of the buildings.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's like This weather
And
is
I have
so
my heat bag
horrible.
on again tonight. It's
I mean,
damp.
up and
I do
down,
that
and
with
up
mine
and
on.
down.
It's damp. It's
Yeah.
Filled up that damn propane tank 3 times this year, I swear.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so did I. More than 3
Huge.
times.
Almost
And
had
it's,
to take a small
and
business
it's back
loan.
down to 10% again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, our
Fine.
bill
Okay.
skyrocketed because they did. We have a
Oh, the variable.
geothermal,
Oh, the geothermal.
and we had 2 or 3 low months that were estimated,
Oh, I hate
and
that.
then we got Saco.
Yeah.
How are you making out with the geothermal as far as when you get your loop saturated?
My loop doesn't saturate. I don't have a loop. I have well to dump.
Oh, you're a dump system.
I would never do that.
Sound like a personal question.
Like, well, I don't know.
Saturated.
Okay.
Well, how does the loop get saturated? I mean, I
When
put
your groundwater recedes because you start going through a dry season. When your ground loop recedes and your water table isn't as high, so you don't have enough cooling water in your loop.
yeah, but see, it's a closed loop. The loops I have in are all closed. My house is open. It's well to dump because we're on the creek, so we didn't have to have 2 wells. We have 1 well, and our well's 310 feet deep. But all the other systems I put in after that are closed loop, and the closed loop has like a Freon solution in.
Glycol.
Well, whatever it is, but it's not water,
Right.
and it's not drawing water from the earth. So.
Right. But that closed loop goes down into the water in the earth. And when your water table drops,
Oh,
you lose your
But
cooling
mine isn't-
capability.
mine aren't
because you don't have
supposed to
enough
go
of
in.
the closed
No.
loop in the well.
Yeah, but mine aren't in water.
Yeah, that's an issue.
I mean, they're not meant to be in
It's an
water.
issue.
They have them
running
packed.
in over Monocacy a little bit.
They have them packed with
Oh.
earth.
We have geothermal over there.
Really?
Monocacy's geothermal. 88 wells.
I was going to ask you how many wells.
88 wells.
Holy.
Because I have 3
down
wells for the biggest
325
house.
feet
I have 3 wells for the biggest house I ever built.
underneath the playground out back.
How's the how much is it? How's it, the price on it? Running it?
Oh, cheap.
As long as it works.
As long as it works.
As long
like
as the water
everything.
table stays
As
up,
long as the
okay.
water table stays up, you can get the cooling and don't get saturated.
Watch, we'll have like a drought.
Yeah,
Feel like California.
yeah, really.
Texas.
All right. Well, hopefully the boilers will be crossed off the facilities committee list after Monday, and maybe the reserve study too. I just on a side note on the reserve study, I did, and I don't know if it's available, but Carol, I saw her at another meeting this past week, and she said that she was meeting with somebody to look at grants for different grants that were available, and she said, do you want me to see if there's any grants that we could use for that? I said, you can look for any grant you want. I'll be open to it. I don't know if there is, but she's exploring
For the
grants.
boilers?
No, for the reserve study,
I'm sorry,
actually.
okay, good.
So, I don't know if she was meeting with somebody from Schwank's office. But I said, you won't step on my toes if you find a grant. Really, feel free to look. I won't be offended. So,
Would that school board organization know of something like that?
Oh, you mean the place that bids?
the PASBA, I don't know.
PSBA?
Yeah.
I mean, if you put something out on PSBA, I mean, I'm sure you'll get a response that, you know what I mean? If you have any questions or anything like that, put it out on that. Because there's a lot of
They will.
knowledgeable people out there that
Right.
have already been through things like
That's what I'm
that.
thinking.
Yeah.
So, all right. Do you have anything else for us you wanted to bring up?
I'm just going to go over like building updates for
Okay.
what we're into right now.
Sure.
Like I said, we fired up the chillers and the cooling towers. I'm working with Train. I have them coming in tomorrow. We have some ERU issues at this time of year because it blows in too much cold air in the afternoon. So I have some ERU issues and some makeup issues at the Monocacy building and Amity Elementary. The high school, Phil Trassard's finishing up the first and second floor bathrooms with the wall treatments and the plumbing fixtures. They look really good. So if you ever get into the high school, go to the West Lavatories in the new part of the high school and check it out. He did a really good job on them.
You check them out.
Yeah.
We'll take a tour of the bathroom.
Yeah, take a tour of the bathrooms. I mean, the kids love them. I mean, we got a lot of compliments from the kids because they were bad. They were bad. AEC, I know we had the roof sealant for the EDPM roof. That was approved probably about a year and a half ago from Capital. I'm going to revisit this back in May when we come to our May facilities meeting. I don't know if I'm going to get the time to do this myself. I might have to get somebody in to help me with this. With the roof coating. It's a lot. We will patch the areas that we need to patch on the rooftop curbs and everything like that, but I might have to get somebody in to get me hand to coat it because I don't want to be up there all summer long coating a roof, and it's pretty big.
Okay.
And
not volunteering for
since we won't be hopefully not doing a lot of moving this year, we'll have time to do some preventive maintenance.
Yay, we love preventative maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
We do.
It's nothing like working on a roof in July and August.
Oh my God, I've been there in my younger days.
Would you get a quote for that, I guess?
I would just get a quote from an area contractor or something like that. I mean, just to keep it under $4,000, just for a couple days help get started and
The
roll.
trouble with that roof business is, if it's not warm enough, you
can't
can't
do
coat
it.
it.
If it's too
And if
warm.
it's too warm.
This roof coating for the EPDM, it's you really don't need hot days to do it.
No,
It
but
has
you
a
need
light.
it warm enough that
You
it's...
need it warm. You just
Yeah.
don't need it wet. It's got to be dry.
Well,
Yeah.
these days that's hard to get
Mm.
to.
So that's basically where we're at. We're just firing up the air conditioning right now, and like I said, I'm going to work with Trine in the next couple of days on some makeup units and some ERU issues we're having. So we got to adjust some dampers, set some control, have some control issues. So
All right.
that's basically it.
But you said for the roof, you think that's under 4,000?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, okay. I'm not worried about that then. I was just thinking-
the roof sealant was already approved. That was approved like a year and a half ago, but we just never got to it yet.
I just say, how did they? I mean, does the district have a? I don't know what the policy is. If it's over a certain amount,
If it's
does it
over
have to go approval?
$4,000, you need 3 quotes. If it's over $10,000, you need to
Go out to
basically
bid. Right.
If it's over $25,000, it's prevailing wage.
Yeah, I just meant it's like at the purchasing level. Does the board have is there a dollar amount the
They-
board has to approve, or do they?
I
is it
think
in
at
the
one
budget?
time, this was years ago when Andrew sat on the facilities committee. I think it was anything over like $3,000 we had to run through the facilities committee.
Okay. I don't know what the.
Yeah,
I guess I probably should, but.
Because there's sometimes if something breaks and I need
just have to
a
fix it.
big loop pump or something like that, I mean, I'll let the superintendent know, and like Mary Beth will let you know, but I need it now. I can't
Right.
wait for
Yeah.
your approval.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, I need to get it.
No, and I agree. I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to micromanage that stuff. If you need it, you need it. I just didn't know, if you were coming to us, or if you were mentioning the roof because we were going to have to forward it on for approval at the board level, or
I'm just
you're
mentioning
just letting
it
us
to you.
know. Okay.
I'm just mentioning it to you because I mean that's just what I see on my radar.
Okay.
And it's bugging me. I haven't gotten to it yet. So,
Okay.
and we need to do it this year. And everybody will have their clearances. Who gets it? So anybody there, if the kids are still in school, they will have their clearances and everything. So.
Okay.
While we're on that, want to bring up the fields?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had Thomas and Baumberger over the winter. This is just the girls' softball field right now. We got some huge lips on these softball fields and the JV baseball field. So I had them come up just to give us an estimate, quote on this, and it's basically what's happening is through the heaving and everything over the winter. Last year we had a little lip on there, and we were going to take care of it in the spring, but we still had snow on the ground 2 weeks into the spring season, so we really couldn't do it. So the ground thawed out, and basically now we got a pretty huge lip from the infield to the outfield. They're playing on it, but this is just a rough estimate cost, a proposal to fix that field.
Seems like a lot. They spelled dimensions wrong.
Yeah, well,
They dig in the dirt. They don't spell. They don't.
It's all that fertilizer. and
yeah,
pesticides.
yeah. So it's over to 4,000. So I have to get a couple more quotes, call a couple more people. These people who gave us a quote on this, basically they do it for the entire Berks County. There ain't too many people that come out and do ball fields that are experienced in it and have the equipment to do it. So if you know somebody, let me know.
Is this the field that
Next to 345.
that Carol had mentioned?
Well, I thought, originally he told me that we did have like a mudslide somewhere, so not realizing that this was the other problem. So I clarified to Carol today what was the reasoning for having somebody out on the field. And the game was not moved because of the problem on the field. The game was moved because the fields were too wet to play on, and Pottsville either had drier fields and said, hey, our fields are good, you want to come up here, for the game. So the athletic directors throughout the county have been swapping home field advantage because of getting games in, or else they're not ever going to.
Some schools have tarps,
Yeah.
huge tarps that they cover their entire infield.
Right.
All right, where's this field in relation to the football field?
This field is, if you go up 345, Larry,
It's right on the edge.
it's right next to 345, the softball field with the dugouts and everything
okay,
there,
okay.
with the batting cage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this a safety concern?
I think that it could become one, especially if you're infield or you're either one, either infield's backing up or outfield's coming in, and they're looking for the ball up in the air, and all of a sudden they could be somewhere else. Yeah.
Tripped over the lip.
Yeah.
It's no consolation. I mean, compared to what I played on, this would be very good.
Oh, you're in the cow pasture too, huh?
Yeah, we played on cinders down at Old Weaver Field, where the new feed mill's built. So, I mean, but that's, it's got to be addressed.
I was just say, I would think, and especially, I guess the reason I'm asking is certainly because in today's day and age too, you have the
Right.
liability concerns, and that's why because
Especially if you're fully aware of it.
right, yes. So, I
So
mean,
you're going to get a couple more quotes.
I'm going to get a couple more quotes. So if you know someone who does this, I mean, Thomason and Baumberger, I'm going to try to resource a little bit tomorrow with my guys down in Montgomery County area, see how they use. But Thomason and Baumberger is basically Berks County, Schuylkill County, Lebanon, Lancaster, Harrisburg area. They do a lot of work.
This isn't something that just a small landscaper would do, or is it? I mean, this is a big deal, right?
It's a pretty big deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wondered. I mean, I'm not
You can check with them.
opposing anything. I'm just
Yeah.
asking.
They,
The only reason I'm asking is
yeah.
the only reason I'm asking is because, we have, people in the school district that have landscaping businesses. I just wondered if we need to go out of the district. Like, can we give business to people?
I'm all in
That's all.
favor. I'm all in favor of that because I try to keep it in house as
Yeah.
much as we can.
I mean, that was my only thought on it.
The reason I gave these guys a call and a ring and stuff like that so we could get the ball rolling, and basically they've been doing this for a long, long time.
are you looking to have this done before the season's
Well,
over?
I have to talk to Michelle. I mean, if we go and do this now, they're not going to be able to play on that field.
Right. Yeah.
Right, well, yeah. She's been playing on the field. She's had home games there. I don't know.
I mean,
Like the loose bird.
they could, we're putting sod down. I mean, you could play on the sod, a couple days later. I mean, but, I have to get a timeline when these guys could do it, when someone could there and do it, and how long we have to stay off of it. So,
Yeah, 'cause the way-
unfortunately, we had unfortunately, the PIAA doesn't start spring sports in April. They decide to do it in March.
I can't imagine that you could play on any field right now, 'cause my yard,
Well, like I said, the
a lot of
PIAA,
slipping and sliding, I would think.
PIAA starts the first week of March. It should be the first week of April.
It just seems like a lot of money for what it is.
It does. It does. I'll reach out to some local people. I have a couple local people that see if they're interested.
So do you,
I just think it's good PR.
Yeah.
no, yeah, it always is, but sometimes, yeah. Do you think that you might be able to get 2 other quotes before Monday's meeting?
No doubt.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you're not
at that
looking.
point.
I didn't know if you were looking for a.
No.
I'm not. I'm trying to be proactive here
Okay.
and bring it to everybody's attention.
I'm just trying to figure out your sense of urgency, that's all.
That we're working
I don't
on
think
it.
we're urgent, but I don't think that we can,
We can't
depending on
ignore
what
it.
next winter will bring
Right.
and what will happen.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess the question would be, honestly, if we wouldn't be getting it done before the season, are you better off waiting and
Fall.
scheduling that, or to wait till spring next year, have it done, and
Yeah, it would be too.
Can't
long.
wait till
Yeah.
spring.
okay,
You have to do it in the fall.
Yeah.
Because if we have another winter like we just had, they'll be dealing with twice as worse.
well,
field
that's
than what
okay.
they're
Well,
dealing
I
with
wasn't
now.
sure.
Already nailed.
So if it's
Yeah.
done before winter, we shouldn't have the. My concern
It's
is I
done
didn't
in
want it
late
to
August, beginning
freeze
of September.
Right.
and have the same problem in the spring after we just spent all the money.
Late August, beginning of
Okay.
September, if we're going to do it then. So I'll
Okay.
work on other quotes right now to try to see what we can do.
I don't know if anybody can.
So it's not a,
I know of a couple people. I don't really want
I
to
can-
mention them here right now.
fine.
that's
but-
fine.
I
That's
can
fine.
ask. I can ask how around and see if I can find anybody that knows people that do it too. But if I do, I'll shoot you an email
Just call.
or call. Okay.
Yeah.
He does much better with
He hates
answering his
If
phone
you just want to
than
get a
he does
hold of
his
me,
email.
please call.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Not a big email.
All right. I figure that way I don't bother you. And you can get to it when you get to it.
I'd rather answer the phone and deal
Okay.
with it now.
Okay. That's fine. Good to know. That's good to know.
Get it out of the way.
Mhm.
Admin moves. We officially, I started my day at APC today. My office is all set and ready for business. The techies had the phones brought over for myself, Sandy, and Lori Barr, and Dr. Sanker's office that she's occupying for the short time that she'll be with us. So we're all up and running. I put out emails to the entire district and to the board. We did not send out a Connect Ed yet because I don't want to confuse everyone. So we're going to send home some information with the kids, just letting parents know that, here's where you can, get the superintendent, your other business, day-to-day business, if you have to pay taxes or not pay taxes, but whatever you have to do with regards to the business group, they can still be reached at Matthew Brook Building. So I will communicate that with them. The transition or the moving plan is that we're going to move one of the other secretaries, Mary Ann Price, who sat right before Lori Barr coming through. She's going to get moved over this week. And then we're going to move Sodexo over. And then this room will probably happen before we begin to move the business office because of Kim Seldenridge being here by himself without Mark and not wanting to have to deal with that whole move part right away. So he's more or less holding the business office together upstairs. But Kenny and his guys did the work. Well, his guys did the work on Saturday. Kenny did the work leading all the way up till the weekend. And it's great.
Good.
Yeah. We'll start cleaning the rugs. We'll start painting after, they have us now moved. So, timeline and good.
Hammer it out.
Good. That's good. I was hoping that if it was approved, you'd find some time to do some of the stuff with
Well,
your guys.
we got together,
I figured
what was that? It
I
was
have a
approved
place to
Monday,
go
we got
with this
together.
You know, I
We
have
got
a
together
place to go with
Tuesday
this
and
stuff.
we laid out a plan.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
yeah.
If you do, since we have a little bit of time, we can start the next meeting at 7:30. Not that I want to hold you up, but I did mention when I talked to Kenny about facility, the agenda. If we had a few minutes, I know Larry, you had a question in a few meetings back about the DVRs, the camera systems, and what we use extra. So I thought maybe Kenny could just kind of tell us that setup and how we do what we do and why.
I talked to Tamara about it, and what happens is at the middle school and AEC, Exeter comes in, and they come in once a month, and they clean up like the DVR, and which clean up the DVR, basically, there's not a whole lot of room in these drives in there and these DVRs, so he comes in and gets with the principal, cleans the drives up, wipes it out. There's nothing that they got to record or anything like that. So basically, he cleans up the drives, he cleans the cameras, and I see Mike over there a lot. Mike is a local police officer, changes out the bad cameras at no cost to the school district, and makes sure everything's recorded and each camera is aimed the way it should be, cleans the lenses. So that's basically what that is.
Where do we have cameras in the schools?
We have cameras in the school at the high school, the middle school.
No, I mean, at,
Physically?
like the entrance door.
Oh, they're all over the place.
They're just,
Yeah, and the buildings that they're in fully, they're all over the place.
You
but-
can see this. You can see everything in the hallways. Of course, you can't have them in the bathrooms, but you can see everything in the hallways. You can see them outside in the parking lots, loading docks, all entrances. Pretty much have it covered. We have a lot of cameras in this school district. A lot of cameras.
So this is part of the whole security network,
Yeah.
and he cleans all those cameras.
He cleans the cameras.
well, when you said,
Cleans lenses on them.
When you said he
cleans the hard
cleans-
drives up. I haven't physically been there all the time. You just might go in and see if the lens is dirty by looking through the, on the monitor and stuff like that. If it needs clean, he goes out and cleans it. If there's one camera that's bad, it's no cost. He goes up and changes the camera.
What does he do? Get on the ladder, get up there, and put
Yep.
handy wipe, and
Yep. That's what he does.
Scrubs the white.
Actually, it's not even that. It's spray.
spray stuff.
Like that, like dry spray, stuff you clean boards off with,
Oh yeah.
and just like this.
So
pops
that,
the
so
lens.
he charges. We pay him $75 for that. Is that what it is? $75 or $175?
It's 175. It's 175 a month for, I think, AEC, the high school.
So it's like a maintenance contract.
Yeah, it's a maintenance contract. It's a preventive maintenance contract on it. And at the high school and the middle school, you'd be surprised on how much these cameras are used.
Oh, not really.
I'm telling you right now, you'd be surprised. You really would. And the stuff that you see on these cameras.
Yeah,
I know
I'm
we
like,
got a
I'm
lot
like
of-
camera. I wouldn't surprise me either.
I know the last few years.
I think it would.
A lot of
I do a lot
I
of
think you
elementary level,
was.
which is kind of scary.
Yeah.
Well, that does sound frightening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now that I know a little bit more about it, that seems like if
Yeah,
the guy's
anytime you
doing
have a
that-
question like that or anything, just feel free to give me a call.
You mean I can't email you?
Nah, don't email me.
text?
Just give me a call. Nah. Mary Beth texts me all the time. I got to answer her. So.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
I got that. Message received loud and clear on that one.
He hates when I pound the desk.
He hates her. I hate when she pounds the
Yeah,
desk.
when I don't get his attention.
Do you have?
Okay.
Does I mean, we have a month, I guess, before the next meeting, but I don't know. Is there anything that you are thinking about for the next meeting or agendas, or if you guys have things that you want to learn more about or
hoping
talk
it'll be
about,
quiet after the
you feel
boilers.
free to shoot me a message or something, and we can put it on the agenda. Other than that, I mean,
Or skip
No, I appreciate Ken just keeping track of these, these, I don't want to call them small projects, but things like the roof and the things like the ball field, just, I want to know about all that stuff, so I appreciate all that stuff.
There's a lot.
I'm sure there's a lot rolling around in your brain
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Like I said, just with the cooling towers and the makeup units and starting the chillers up, a lot. It's a lot.
What is our goal to get this survey done?
The reserve study?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to make a recommendation. I was planning on making a recommendation for next meeting. Like I said, I think Larry had offered to call some of the references this week and see. Usually if people use references, they're usually favorable, hopefully. But
I meant to complete it, to do it.
What she said was once they get a signed contract, they would schedule, or they would ask, they would be looking for certain information. They would ask for that budget's plans if we have what we currently have in reserves, those kinds of things. And they would go over that before they'd come out. They'd send 3 engineers out, and it would take they'd be here about a week going through all the buildings. And then after they do the inspections, she said it takes about a month for them to write the reports. And she said they actually vet those reports in front of a panel of engineers. So the 3 engineers that inspect them write the reports. Then they share that information with a panel for like a QC kind of check. Then they would furnish the report, and then we have 6 months to ask them to change things in the report, and that they would change for free. She said, for example, like say they put into the cost of the reserve study maintenance, and they say you should be putting aside $30,000 a year for maintenance or whatever. We could say to them, we're going to take the maintenance out of our regular budget as maintenance. We just want you to do replacements.
In other words,
so
we're
they'll tailor
they'll
tailor the report the way you want it.
Yeah.
So would it be, I guess my question for you would be too, would it be better for you to, for example, have them do that during the summer? Or to have them do, what time of year is better?
I would rather not have it now till like the end of May, because basically right now we're going to run into a lot of issues with this transition season with a lot of cooling and stuff like that.
I would think it'd be easier for the company to do it when they're.
I'd rather personally do it over the summer.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's what I was thinking. But then I thought, I don't know what you do. I mean, maybe in the summer you're real busy.
Oh, we
trying
are
to do
busy.
other stuff,
we are busy,
but
I don't have kids inside the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
And basically, if I got to leave, I can just tell these people, hey, here's my key. Here's the key to the closets. Go open up the closets. Give them the blueprint of the building. Here's what you need to look at, and I can leave. I don't have to walk through the building with them while there's a whole bunch of kids.
If they're here when the kids are here, we can't have loose,
I know. And I think it's also easier for them to do their work.
Right. So that was my thought was it'd be good for them to do the inspection during the summer. Yeah. We should have it back in plenty of time prior to next year's budget season to start planning for, to include that in the budget process. So
I just want a new old new thing. Last year we went to 4-day work weeks in the summer.
Oh yeah.
And we saved a nice amount of money with our cooling costs and electric. So we will be moving forward again this year with our 4-day work weeks. Fridays, all the buildings are closed. There's no one in them. The only people that might be in is at Amity Elementary Center, and that's the Y program. But we're not. Kenny has been able to just cool the cafeteria area where they're at, and most Fridays they end up going to the pool. That's their field trip day. But I just wanted to let you know that will begin somewhere after around June. June 13th won't be our first one. It's probably going to be the following week. I'll have to count out the number of days.
I think it will be. I think I checked. It's going to be
the last 2 Fridays of June, and then the whole month of July, and then there's like 2 more weeks in August.
In August, because we don't go back till after Labor Day.
Yeah, so we can go
So we
further.
might have another week that we'll be able to do. That'd be perfect.
Yeah. So just to let this committee know that we.
And they did save, what do we say, like $70,000 I think last year or something?
Yeah, with all costs in there, 60.
So.
Nice.
That is something that, and I think Monica had talked about this before, and I think of, and maybe we put it on for a topic when there's not a whole lot on, but of doing periods where, or even if it's days or weekends where the buildings are totally closed. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. I don't want to put you on the spot now, but so that you do have those savings.
I'd rather not have anything on the weekends, but that won't work.
Right. Not with high school.
That will not work. Sunday was to be great. Starting with Sundays. I mean, when I first started here, no one was allowed in the building on a Sunday.
Right, and what they had talked about was either like when there's holiday weekends or there's holiday, of rather than having something in the buildings every day, it gets shut down, and you have the savings, and you have from the utilities, and you have the savings, I would assume, from custodians or people. So and maybe it's not every Sunday.
And tear on the building. It's not so much the savings on the lights because it's if you really look at it, you know what I mean. You don't get a whole lot of savings on the lights. It's just the wear and tear on the building, and just give my guys a break.
Yeah.
Now, do we have, when there's people here on Saturdays and Sundays, is that overtime? Or do some of them work?
It all depends what
days?
the facility's use is.
Okay. I didn't know if you just staggered work weeks, like some people work Tuesday to Sunday, or...
I had a list too, bringing up facilities.
Yeah.
I had a list that I'd like to get to you too of basically there's some, groups out there that we charge, some groups that we don't, and there's this application fee, and we really need to define that a little bit. I don't know if you'd want to take that into revenue enhancement, but
I think that's
we don't have a policy on that.
We do,
I don't think we have a policy. I think you might have had a process or something or procedure, but I don't know if we adopted a policy for.
But it's almost like the people know. I mean, we made a list of all the groups that used our facility in the last 2 years. Some of them are like exempt, some of them aren't. We would just like to get a handle. I know the secretaries who do fill out the facilities use, a lot of times they come up to Mary Beth Torsha and I, and they're like, well, do we charge these people or not? And we look at each other and we're like...
Okay. Yeah, I thought there was, but if there's not, then we should take a look at that. And
I agree.
Then we could...
Tamara, I think that we should know exactly who's using it, who's getting charged, and who's not getting charged.
Yeah, very definitely.
Yeah.
I thought we knew.
I really did.
We did, but there's sometimes
we know, but there's nothing.
With a processing fee, and and I don't want to take price out of people's ball and stuff like that. Some people give back through scholarships. And we just need it defined a little bit more on what we're going to do and what we're not.
It's really tricky though when you start getting into who gives.
But at least if we add the paper there,
right.
At least that the board, with the help of the administration, would sit down and get it figured out. At least we would have a piece of paper that we could give the secretaries to make their job a little bit easier when they do the paper.
Yeah, because it's not good PR if they say, "Oh, do we charge these people?" They don't know.
We have a charge for what it costs to use specific things, but we don't have a charge to the group. If you're coming in and using an elementary gymnasium, Category 1 is a no charge, Category 2 is a $50 charge, and Category 3 is a $1,500 charge. But it doesn't say to whom or what really
if you're Category A, B, or C.
Right.
Okay.
Category 1 is school-related groups. Category 2 is nonprofit, governmental, community, and Category 3 is groups from outside the Daniel Boone Area School District or commercial groups.
Oh, well, that's a good one.
And just like the Berks County Board of Elections, do we charge them a processing fee to fill out their paperwork?
I don't know. I have to go. I apologize. I have to go.
Sure, no problem.
I got to pick up Kevin. He's at a lacrosse game. And
oh yeah,
did they have a lacrosse game?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, as long as it's on the turf.
Good.
Yeah, they had it. Yeah.
So those are some things.
Well,
that we can
hopefully
bring
they
up
did better than like 18-1 like they did.
He's still stinging over that one. Ken, thank you.
Yeah,
Yep, thank
Yeah.
you. As always.
All right. No, I think we were done anyway here, so.
Who's here for